The biggest challenges right now in Houston, the biggest challenge that we see is that many, many people who live in Houston right now don't really have access to the opportunity that Houston has to offer. It's something that can be catastrophic for our city if we don't figure out a way to make sure everyone has an opportunity to participate and an opportunity to give back.
The approaches that we use and take on those issues can change and should because the world changes, the environment changes. And Endowment remarkably has been able to respond to that because of the genius of the creation of the endowment.
Houston is a unique crucible for new ideas, and we would like to be a part of that, of creating new solutions for existing problems.
We're only as good as the organizations that we have the opportunity to achieve our mission and vision through. We've got to know and hear what they're thinking and be in a position to shift and pivot along the way if we need to.
We've moved, in my opinion, up a notch because we now are targeting areas of needs, and we can now bring about consensus in the community itself so that we're not wasting resources, and now we can cover a larger area.
With what we're doing philanthropically, I don't expect 100% success. I mean, if you are, then you're not taking any risk. We have to experiment and say, does that work? And you obviously hope that it does. I mean, that's why you are giving the resources. But if it doesn't, what's the learning from that?
That's different in philanthropy, and I think it's different for the endowment. Now they're looking not at particular institutions that need to be developed over time, but they're looking at what are the systems that are in place and that are affecting the lives of all Houstonians.
I think of it as moving from a 20th century model to a 21st century model. Today, the endowment, they're out in the field. They're seeing what's really going on. They're engaged in the work of the organizations that they're funding, and they're really understanding at a very deep level what is happening.
The world is changing underneath our feet. I think we have to create an organization that is constantly learning, but more than anything, we have to understand what's happening on the ground in Houston, and the best way for us to understand that is through the knowledge of some of our partners in the community who are on the front lines each and every day.
And so I think the endowment has the opportunity because they know a lot of the different agencies doing good work in the community, that they can identify those success stories and have an opportunity to let those success stories influence the way other people are doing their business and their interactions.
I had been so focused on Emerge initially and on what we were trying to accomplish that although I recognized the greater need, I never thought about ways that we'd be able to systemically address it until the endowment came and said, well, if we gave you resources, how could you leverage what you've done on a larger scale? As a result of the endowment stepping up and helping us, we now have an entire centralized college access team and strategy that has yielded significant results. In fact, as of today, we have 2,000 more seniors in the district who've applied to college than we did last year.
It has been revolutionary for us as researchers to have access to those resources. And to be clear, when I'm talking about access to resources, I'm of course talking about financial resources, but I'm also talking about human capital resources, because Houston Endowment has been a huge partner, a thought partner throughout this process in thinking about how to make this collaboration even better.
It's been fascinating to watch everybody coming together and getting more and more engaged in both understanding what the others' roles are, but also engaged in possible solutions that will not only benefit the role they play, but the common goal.
People connecting is where creativity is fostered. Great ideas come from people from different backgrounds, intersecting with each other in a common place. And if within a city we can do that, where people of all walks of life run into each other, we're gonna have a super creative place.
Because all you have to do is walk into an art museum or go to a performance at Miller Theater or step into Buffalo Biopark and see people from neighborhoods and communities across this region playing together, experiencing something together. It just knocks down all the boundaries.
Everybody has to have access. Unencumbered by finances or physical location or whatever, they have to have access. As we continue to grow as a city, making that available for everybody is completely the DNA now of Houston Grand Opera. So therefore, we believe that fits very, very comfortably with what Houston Endowment is trying to do.
Art can serve as a cultural ignition point. We believe that there is inequality. We believe that there is hurt. We believe that there's silent and untold stories. And these stories can be raised up through art and cultural endeavors.
The arts also can really lead the way on increasing connection, on increasing tolerance, on increasing inclusion. And I would say now more than ever, we need more of that.
These problems are incredibly complex, and actually no one organization can sort of come in with a solution. The Houston Endowment really provides the space for us to have this sort of layered, multi-component approach.
They have the power in our community to convene and to capture the attention of a lot of individuals and bring them to the table.
It really allows them to understand how their investments are going to have the impact that they need, how to stay the course when it's doing exactly what it needs to do, and then how to be catalytic when it isn't. If every single foundation lined up in that way, the things we could do in this country.
We have to work on the things that are the most important issues for the people of Greater Houston. We have to work on the hard things, and we have to stick with it over the long haul. That's our direction, that's our mandate.
To actually work on big ideas, but also get others to collaborate on big ideas. Huge, huge role. And there's really nobody else who can do that.
The endowment is the biggest, endowment in Houston, right? When you put that in the context of the needs of the greater Houston area, it's still a drop in the bucket. I don't know if it was an original intent or not, but I have a feeling it was. The endowment, when it's at its best, is a force multiplier.
You feel so energized by what's possible in our community. When people from governmental entities to community voices to nonprofits are working together to solve a common issue.
We are here to serve the people who are in our city and our region today, but we also have to think about the people who are to come. I really think about every child, every mother, every hardworking young man, every kid who's starting college, that they feel deeply connected to and they feel really hopeful about the world that they live in. And I think that is completely consistent with the way that Jesse Jones and Mary Gibbs Jones would have looked at the world.